Hey, so if you are an artist and you've been considering submitting your music to a radio station to try to get it played on the radio, here are a couple of tips that I want to share with you to make sure that it goes in your favor, that you don't jack up your opportunity to have your song played on the radio. So if that is something you are interested in, stick around for my 10 tips. And before I go any further, you're probably like, well, who are you and what makes you an expert in this area? My name is Wanda, and I am a published music entertainment journalist, and I also work on radio. Work in radio and have been for about 11 years. And I have worked in the capacity of being on the receiving end of your music submissions. And I just thought, especially after something that just recently happened in my personal life, and I'll share that with you a little bit later at the end, maybe people need to understand the process. So let me just give you a couple of tips if you are that person and you want or you're trying to get your song played on the radio. All right. So now that my background and all that jazz is out of the way, let's get into my top 10 tips to consider if you are an artist wanting or trying to get your song played on the radio in no particular order. All right. Number one, know the format of the station you are submitting to. What type of music do they play versus what type of music you create? Does that make sense? For instance, if you are a heavy metal artist, you wouldn't want to submit your music to an R&B station, right? So it would take you just a couple of moments to pay attention to the station, know their format, maybe even know a couple of their shows, day parts, because if they don't play your music throughout the entire day and every day part, there may be one particular show on that station that is just right for you and your music that you create. So my first tip, know the format of the station. Number two on my list of what you should consider, top 10, if you're trying to get your music submitted to a radio station, is if you are an artist that has different sounds. Maybe you're a producer, you work with several artists, and they all have different sounds. Tailor your music submission to that station. I know it piggybacks off of know the format, but you'd be surprised how many people send out a basic generic EPK with everything under the sun to one particular station. It shows that you really don't care. You haven't taken the time to say, hey, this station, and list their call letters and send only the music appropriate for that station. Just like when you're searching for a job, you're on a job hunt and you're sending out resumes, you want to make sure that your resume speaks to that job, highlighting your best work experience, your best skill sets, and speak to the job duties specific to that job. Same thing with radio. Tailor your submission to that station. The third thing to consider when trying to get your music played on the radio, submitting your music, is do a little bit of research. It's not going to kill you to spend a little bit of time doing a little bit of research to find out what the process is for submitting music. Most of the time, 90% of the time, the station you want to submit to will have music submission right on their website. All you got to do is go to it, look at the music submission tab, click on it, and see what they want you to do. Every station is going to be different. What works for one station may be different at another station. And I just want to add this. If you know someone personally that works at the station, you're still going to want to ask them, what is the process of submitting music to your station? Don't think you have a leg up and that you could just give this person your music and then you could cut corners. Know the station. Do a little bit of research. It won't hurt you. It will only help you. I already told you what number 3 was, right? Do a little research, find out what the music submission guidelines are. Now, here's the kicker. Number 4, follow directions. If you go on the website and you click on music submission and listed there for you is everything they want you to do. If it says include a bio and a picture and send 2 songs, include a bio, send a picture, and send 2 songs. If you go to a station's website and they say, hey, all we need is your name, your contact information, and only 1 song in MP3 format, do that. Don't just say, hey, I found the email address and I'm going to send whatever the hell I want to send, because that is the quickest way to get you moved from file A, which is the email, to file F, but out of here because you didn't follow directions. Don't be that person, okay? Okay, so number five. Number five on my top 10 things to consider if you're an artist and you want to get your music played on the radio. And four, I mentioned follow directions, right? Number five. This is not 1993. We don't live in 1993 anymore. It's 2023. We don't wear Pele, and nobody listens to CDs. Stop sending your music to the radio station on a CD. What are we really doing? We know that. Look at how you're looking at this right now. It's all about technology, please. I don't care how pretty the package is and that you did some research, kudos to you, and found out the address for the radio station and you put that CD in the mail. Respectfully, it won't go in the trash, but it's going to go in that drawer that nobody pays attention to because who has a CD player hanging around? Nobody. You shouldn't either. No CDs. It's not 1993. Stop it. So I'm going to lean to the side because I feel like I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings with this one. Number six on my list of things to consider when trying to get your music played on the radio station. Don't call multiple times after you submit it. Don't call the station multiple times after you submit the music. It probably says right there on the music submission guidelines. Once your music is submitted, if we like it, we will reach out. And then on the other side of that, if we do like it and we do decide to play it and we send you the message letting you know, hey, we're going to add your music to the rotation. Good job. Don't have you and your 11,000 family members call that radio station requesting that one damn song. We know it's you because don't nobody else request that song except for you and your family members. Do yourself a favor. You are only going to make it worse for yourself. If the song has already been accepted, just let it get played. Don't make it worse for you. Don't call the station multiple times. Don't do that. So number 7 on my list of things to consider, top 10, when trying to get your song played on the radio. This is not just for new artists, for existing artists as well. I don't know why the hell you don't already know this, but please have a radio edit for your song. We, as in the staff, the DJs, the producers, we don't want to edit your shit. We don't want to do that. We don't want to hear the first word on your song being pop that, put me like there, that N-word this, because it's like, damn, now I got to do extra work. That's not going to be fair. So if you want your song played on the radio, please recognize there are FCC laws, regulations that we have to follow. You would make it easier for us to just add it if you provide a radio edit. Clean your songs. Okay, so number 8 on my top 10 things to consider if you want to get your songs played on the radio, you're an aspiring artist. Stop limiting yourself to just the radio. As I said before, it's not 1993. There are so many other avenues you can take that were not available for aspiring artists back in the day that are available for you now. Social media is heavy. Get your song played on TikTok and it go viral, you in there. So I would suggest find a content creator that has a following. Get Ready With Me, a makeup tutorial, podcast creators. All you have to do is get your music to them and say, hey, can you get ready with my music? And then list my name so people can Shazam the song. Hey, next time you do your makeup, play my music in the background. That would be amazing. You will gain exposure in other ways other than the radio. Just don't limit yourself to just that. Okay? All right, so we're almost at the end. Number 9 on my list of the top 10 things to consider if you are an artist and you would like to get your song on the radio. Number 9, please don't send music to the radio station based off of your ethnicity. What does that mean? Let me put it in layman's terms. Just because you are black does not mean you submit your music to a black station. Again, know the format. Know the music that is played. Does your music sound like something that should be played on that station? And it goes both ways. If you are a white person, a Filipino person, whatever the case may be, look at Bobby Caldwell. May he rest in peace. Bobby Caldwell was a white man. Who knew? Who knew Bobby was white? Because Bobby had that soul. You send it to a soul station. Don't let your ethnicity keep you from getting your music played. Send it to the right station based off the music. Finally, we are at number 10. Number 10 on my top 10 things to consider if you are an artist and you want to get your song played or at least considered playing on the radio. Number 10, Please make sure the music is good. I think some people forget that part. The music has to be good, and I'm talking the vocals, the production. Don't send music to the station asking that people play it when you sound like you recorded it in the tub. Let your production quality be great. Let your vocals be great. Let the music not overshadow your vocals. Let everything be blended well. Get that thing mixed down. Put your best foot forward and you send that to the station. Let the music be good. All right? So I hope you found that helpful. If you are an artist and you've been considering submitting your music to a radio station, those are my top 10 things to consider. And if you made it this far, you might as well just go ahead and subscribe, because I talk music, I do interviews, I do a little this, little that. That's why it's called Fluff and Stuff with Wanda Coppage. And if you want to check me out on the radio, you could do that too. It's 94.3 WYBC. We're the rhythm of the city. It's in New Haven, Connecticut, and you can listen online. 943WYBC.com. I'm on from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. holding you down for your middays, all right? Make sure you subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Be easy.